started writing notes. So
Sure.
anyways, Moving On song was like the first song that I wrote that was like, hey, this is kind of good. So anyways, I went to Nashville and I recorded it, and it turned out great. Buddy put music to it. That was awesome. But anyways, how the song came about was my grandpa had gave me a Rolex watch that I'd been trying to get from him for forever. And, you know, he kept telling me, that's a man's watch. What do you need a man's watch for? And I'm like, Gramps, they're in style. Give it to me, please. You know, so I finally talked him into it. And I was on my way home, and I was just looking at that watch. And you know how you can just buy something and you'll just feel so great, or you'll get something like a Rolex watch that your Gramps gives you, and you just feel on
Sure.
top of the moon and like you could just conquer the world.
Absolutely.
Well, that's kind of how I felt. And at the time, I was going through a breakup, and from the father of my kids, and we had been together for 8 years, high school sweethearts, and, you know, my life was like falling apart. And this watch on my wrist is telling me it's time to let him go. Popped into my head, and like that was just kind of like the phrase that I based the whole song off of, you know. I was at that point in my life where I was tired of hurting. I was tired of the repeat stuff that I was going through. It was always the same thing, and, you know, it just the bad was outweighing the good at this point. And, you know, I was ready to move on. So I wrote a song about moving on, and that's what I've been doing since then. And I couldn't be more happy.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a heck of a job, and I think I hear one little voice in the background there. Would that be?
Yes.
Would that be yours? I thought I heard the voice
little...
back there. And, well, great. Thank you for bringing him along with you and bringing him on the show too. We haven't. You know, John Bon Jovial. We haven't had that. We haven't had anybody bring their kids on the show yet. We should do a.
No,
we should do a show.
We should do a.
Well.
We
she would be more than happy to sing you a song.
Oh, well, then that's definite. We got to book an appearance to have you back here. Thank you so much for coming in and being here with us today, sharing your story and your music, especially your new track. And we do definitely want to have you come back and visit us again in the not-too-distant future. Thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Whitney, and here she is. This is Moving On Song.
It's telling me it's time to let him go. But if I know my heart, it's easier said than done when I see him walk out my door.
The David Bowers Awards is proud to partner with the 2018 Independent Tone Awards for Indie Artists. We're inviting you to be a part of it too. So tell us your favorite indie artists in the Independent Tone Awards categories by emailing your choices to me, David, at TheDavidBowers.com. It's that simple. We'll forward our choices from your selections to be nominees for the Independent Tone Awards. So check the Independent Tone Awards website, then choose your picks in any or all of the categories and send them to us. Let's support our indie artists.
About success, all I could do if I had more. This old man spoke about happiness and simple joys, but he said I crossed the village to meet the neighbors. We ate the pie and drank the wine from dusty bottles, and he said this is happiness. It's what makes the world go round. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. You thought time was running out. I heard the good news you got. Now you say life's a miracle, hanging in the balance. You do what you do, I'll do what you can. You know it's true, what an old man said. And this is happiness, and it makes my world go round. Ba 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 da ba. C'est ça le bonheur. C'est ce qui fait tourner le monde. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. Ba ba da ba. Ba ba da ba. Say this is happiness. Say it makes your world go round. Ba 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 da ba. Say this is happiness. Say it makes your world go round. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. C'est ça le bonheur. C'est le bonheur. C'est ce qui fait tourner le monde. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. It makes the world go round. It makes the world go round. It makes the world go
This is Happiness, and ladies and gentlemen, this is Clara Bellino. Hello, Clara. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great, David. Thank you so much. How are you?
Oh, you're very welcome. Well, actually, we're having a ball here because it seems like everything that we touch today is going in the opposite direction we wanted it to. So, hey, it's just a bundle of fun. You can't sit here and rest on your laurels or anything. You just have to keep going because you never know which way the stream is going to take you. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of fun having you back here with us. It's been a while. You've got a new album, which was kind of unexpected to us. We didn't know you had a new album coming out until we got word through the grapevine. But you have, first, before we get into talking about your new album, I can't help but always be impressed by the the style of music you do, because it really crosses a lot of genres. I mean, you've got a thread of pop. There's a definite touch of jazz in there. How do you come up with this cross-genre sound?
Well, thanks for asking. I used to really think about one style I wanted to play, and when I first moved to the States, I was like, oh, I want to do pop rock, and one day when I released my third album, I got a review from a gentleman who said, you can definitely hear the jazz influences. And I remember thinking, what do you mean? What jazz influences? And here's the thing. How I come across is really my influences. I've finally come full circle and accepted whatever. I've been lucky to travel quite a bit around the world, and my dad was a avid, still is, lover of music and of jazz. And when I was a kid, our house was always full of music, a lot of jazz, and to the point where when I was a snotty teenager, I kind of resented it. And so when I went away from home, I was like, I'm going to do this. And when this reviewer said, we can hear the jazz influences, I had to come to terms with the fact that, yeah, it's in there. And so it's not like I've looked for, I'm not trying to do this genre or that genre. I've been lucky to be exposed to a lot of things, and they all end up mixing up, and that's what comes out. It's jazz is definitely part of it. I also grew up in Europe, so there's that, and I love all kinds of music because I've been exposed to all kinds of music. So that's how the mixture happens.
Well, it works, and I think from my perspective, what I'm hearing is Clara Bellino music, and it's a composite of the sounds and genres and the feelings that you have experienced over the years. And I go to part of your bio that describes the new album as an unapologetic ode to a combination of all the musical styles that you've been lucky and grateful enough to be exposed to and have infiltrated your musical heart and consciousness and inspired you. I think that's quite a sentence, but it does very nicely sum up what you've got in your sound there. And frankly, from my opinion, I wouldn't change a thing. I would keep on doing what you're doing because it works.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's one of the privileges of, of being lucky enough to be exposed to music, but also to not being accountable, to anyone who says, okay, now that you're with us, you have to write these 4 or 5 songs, and this is your style. And I the best I can do is, and the best I can write is what comes out of me, and so I do that, and I got to tell you, on the new album, it's been very exciting,